Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I would like to read an article entitled AEC Vision 2025, a sectoral contributions of the Philippines to maritime connectivity and ocean governance. The Philippines will be hosting the 21st ASEAN Summit later this year, at mid-century of its founding and into the second year of the establishment of the ASEAN Economic Community or AEC in 2015. The fifth years of the ASEAN also marks a milestone with the implementations of the AEC Blueprint 2025, which is the second phase of constructing the AEC. The Philippines must take these important areas milestone as an opportunity to project national concern and core interests in the context of ASEAN regional integration and consolidation. It must seize the opportunity to promote regional ocean governance as a core regional interest for the AEC, projecting a core interest of the Philippines. Introductions: a Philippines core national interest and an ASEAN core regional interest. This article hopes to contribute to the continuing narrative on ASEAN economic or political integration and consolidation, and a caring and sharing community building under the ASEAN Community Vision 2025. At this juncture, the core national interest of the Philippines as a millennial archipelagic state must already to be introduced to the regional and international context through an independent foreign policy that is ASEAN-centered and oriented towards the wider Central Indo-Pacific region under AEC Vision 2025. Paragraph 8.7. In the ASEAN community building narrative, the Philippines must project its core interests, especially in transitioning from an archipelago and maritime nation to an archipelagic state created under the 1982 United Nations Conventions on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS. The concept of an archipelagic state is an economic political characterization which the Philippines historically exposed as an added essential element of its statehood as a mid-ocean archipelago. The so-called archipelagic doctrine articulates and reflects the ancient and traditional animus among the early tribal inhabitants of the island that later comprised the Philippines archipelago. Since those very early times, time immemorial, the pre-Spanish inhabitants of the island, comprising the archipelago, were mostly coastal communities and settlements, with a natural affinity with the sea, and thus the sense of a unity between land and sea. Presently, between 80 until 85% of municipalities and cities in the country is never more than 100 kilometers from the coast. The projections of the archipelagic concept to the international political plan was pioneered by the Philippines at the United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea, among the longest and largest diplomatic conference process that spanned 3 decades. For the Philippines, the incorporation of the regime of the archipelagic state in the UNCLOS represents a hard-won success at diplomacy, wherein the leading maritime nation of the world will range against it. Thenceforth, the Philippines will have to continue work at progressive development of the international regime of the archipelagic state at UNCLOS Part 4 through customary state practice, the legal regime itself, and not just its UNCLOS. Judicial implementation is so much work still in progress. For example, an intractable issue then, as it is up to the present time, is defining what constitutes freedom of navigation through archipelagic waters, otherwise known as the right of archipelagic sea land passage. This is a vessel transit regime that necessarily would be mainly governed through domestic rules and regulations, albeit also necessarily balanced with the right of foreign vessels. These domestic projections toward foreign policy under the ASEAN Community Vision 2025 would serve core interests of the Philippines alongside its own national visioning, positioning, and constructing for the ASEAN century. This suggests initiative of the Philippines within the ASEAN, implementing the further developing the UNCLOS regime of the Archipelagic State will be significantly contributory to the AEC community building, forging ahead together. In regard to maritime connectivity and ocean governance, this is due to the fact that the ASEAN seas and the Central Indo-Pacific maritime region is flanked in its eastern longitude by the three largest archipelagic states in the North-South Agency alignment, in example Philippines, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. On account of the importance of maritime connectivity and ocean governance to AEC economic political integration and consolidation, the ASEAN must assume its role as the central and foremost facilitator and driver of regional economic integrations in East Asia. Addressing maritime connectivity through ocean governance and maritime security. Even at this point in time, the ASEAN can intercalate inputs into the Initiative for ASEAN Integrations or IAI Strategic Framework and the Master Plan for Base Connectivity and shaping the regional maritime and ocean governance architecture. To reiterate, ocean governance and maritime security is collective regional core interest for the ASEAN region and East Asia. Burdened with more than half of the world maritime trade and shipping volume quantified at US $5.3 trillion US dollar annually. Ocean governance is also essential in establishing maritime connectivity, and the Philippines is the strategic regional epicenter in all aspects of ocean governance and maritime security. Whether traditional or non-traditional concern and issue, and in the kick of a maritime dispute situation that can be drag on regional integration and consolidation. The Philippine contribution to the ASEAN integration and consolidation process at this point in the time through AEC 2025 would be in ocean governance in maritime security, projecting a core national interest. The AEC Vision 2025 Blueprint for Political Security Community. The broad characteristic for the ASEAN Political Security Community in the AEC Vision 2021 is laid out at paragraph 7 and 8 of the vision statement issued by the ASEAN Head of State Government during the 27th ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur that established the ASEAN Community 2015 as a political security community. The AEC Visions 2025 exhort that the ASEAN shall remain cohesive, responsive, and relevant in addressing challenges to regional peace and security, as well as play a central role in shaping the evolving regional architecture while deepening engagement with external parties and contributing collectivity to global peace and stability. To this end, the ASEAN undertake to realize a political security community. So the time is up. and the article will be continued to read on the next video. So bye bye, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.